more for you, you feel it. You know it. This is your life, and it's time to go from contender to champion. This is the show. John Madsen.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. I'm your host, John Madsen. This is the show. I have a special episode for you today. I was talking to one of my online clients, and dude was struggling just a little bit. He was starting to get into that excuse-making mentality, travel, different social situations, things seemingly out of his control. And he came to this epiphany, and he hit me up and he said this: John, I've been negotiating the price of success. And I thought that was so cool because I didn't have to say it. Dude came to this conclusion by himself. So I wanted to ask you today, are you constantly negotiating the price of success? Are you haggling over the price of success? And chances are you are. And in my past, I have too. And this is a constant battle that you have to wake up and fight and struggle with every single day. That is, if you're fighting towards something that's worthy, something that is purposeful, something that you actually want to happen. Now, if you don't care, you don't care. But when it comes to success in your body, in your business, in your workplace, in your relationship, there is a price. And that price is ultimately going to be determined by your willingness to pay it, or you're going to continually make excuses and try to negotiate that price. And what I mean by that is this. Let's say that you want a championship body. Next year, you want to go to the beach, take your shirt off, have a six-pack, and have all your friends that are there, have everybody on the beach look at you and say, holy shit, what does that guy do? That's what you say you want. But yet, every time the weekend comes around, you're just going to do what you do. You're going to throw back 6 beers. You're going to have a good time. You're going to tell yourself you're living the life that you want to live. And ultimately, you're never going to get the body that you actually want. And you're always going to look at those people on Instagram and think, man, how the fuck does he do it? And you're going to continue to make excuses about your genetics, about your injuries, about your age, about everything seemingly out of your control, about the fact that you travel too much, about the fact that you just don't want to count your macros because it's inconvenient, about the fact that you don't have any fucking time because you are a single father or whatever. These are the excuses that I hear every single day. And as soon as you realize that they're excuses and you're making them up, and other people with harder conditions than you have accomplished far more than you have, you're going to continue to stay in this negotiation with what you think you ultimately want. Because success, whether it's fitness or in your career, is gonna take sacrifice. If it didn't, you would go out to the grocery store, you'd go to Costco, you'd go to the movies, and everybody would be living the life that they dream about. But I challenge you, next time you go to the grocery store, next time you're zigzagging through the traffic at Costco, notice how many people are actually living the lives that they dream about. How many people are sleepwalkers, just going through the motions. They gave up on their dreams long ago. How many people are somewhere in the middle? They say they want something, they just can't seem to fucking get it. And this has this trickle down effect Because if you do this in fitness, you do this in your career, you do this in your relationship. Sometimes you can have one aspect of your life dialed in and the other ones are not dialed in. But if you really look at what you're doing in that one successful aspect and the other areas of your life aren't living up to what you want them to, chances are you're lopsided, you're really good at one thing, and it doesn't carry over. Most of the time, you're going to see the same thing show up in different areas. I've actually struggled with this in my life. I can dial in my fitness, but sometimes those same principles aren't carrying over every single time in the other areas. And this might seem like a contradiction because I always talk about how you do one thing is how you do everything. That's the case most of the time. But you can still see Jack Dude at the gym spending 2 hours there with the jug of water, fucking steroided out, wanting to win bodybuilding shows. Every ounce of his being revolves around one thing. Then dude goes home, has shitty relationships, has a shitty career, makes no money, blah, blah, blah. So there are certain times when you can be completely one-sided and the success that you're having in one area doesn't carry over to the other areas. What I want my clients to have is this balanced success across their fitness, across their relationships with their families, being great fathers, in their careers, making more money. Those are the principles that I want to carry over to my clients. Those are the principles that I work so hard for my everyday life so that I can be this balanced person across the areas that I want to be a champion in. That's what I want for you. But you're never going to be a champion in any single area if you keep negotiating the price of success. What you're not willing to do is killing your chances of achieving what you want to achieve. When it comes to your fitness, you don't have to go to the gym for more than 4 or 5 hours a week, but you have to go to the gym 4 to 5 hours a week, maybe 3. But the fact remains, you're going to have to find those hours. If you think you're going to do P90X and just do bullshit at home, you're negotiating. You're going to have to learn about food, and it's going to be inconvenient at times. If you don't, you're going to keep scrolling through fucking Instagram and wondering why this dude looks like this and you don't. You're going to have to optimize your sleep, your hydration. You're going to have to manage your stress levels. If you don't, you're not going to achieve the body that you want. If you're social and some of the things you do is just go out every Friday and Saturday night with your friends, that's okay. But when you hit me up on Monday and you're like, damn, John, I threw back cocktails, I ate kind of crappy on the weekend, but I'm going to be on it Monday through Thursday. You're looking for magic. Because if you're not consistent, you're never going to win. It's not what you do every once in a while. It's what you do most of the time. It's what you do 90% of the time that's going to get you the results, not being great 10% of the time. You can't be great Monday through Thursday and then just fucking completely go backwards Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've tried to do that. There's not a magic supplement that's going to work wonders if you eat like shit. So if you're asking me what supplement should I take, if your sleep's not on point, if your hydration's not on point, if you're not getting 4 to 5 hours a week in the gym, if you don't know how much protein you're getting in a day, if you have no idea what your macro count is in a day, you're looking for the shortcut. That's the definition of negotiating the price of success. So next time you look in the mirror or write out your goals, and I strongly urge you to write out exactly what it is that you want so that you have a fighting chance of actually achieving it. If you just think you know what you want and you haven't written it down and you haven't visualized it, you're working towards a goal with no GPS. Chances are you're never going to get there. But next time, if you do visualize what you actually want to happen, if you do write down your goals, there was just this study, less than 1% of people in the world, it's 2019, write out their goals. So 1% of the people actually have a clear picture, somewhat clear picture. That's just writing it down. That doesn't even include visualizing. Have a semi-clear picture of what they actually want. And then we wonder why other dude on Instagram is fucking lucky. But what you don't realize is it has nothing to do with luck. That guy has a very crystal clear picture of what he wants. He's not negotiating the price of what it's going to take. He has a GPS because he knows exactly what he wants, and he fucking gets it. So we have to shift this paradigm about what's luck, what's unfortunate, what our stories are for not achieving what we want, our excuses, our victimhood. And we got to really shift that whole process if you're ever going to succeed. But next time you're writing down those goals, next time you're looking in the mirror, I want you to ask yourself, have you been negotiating the price of success? Because unless you're a top 1%er and you have everything that you want, chances are that you are. Because I'm making this video and I'm telling you that I negotiate the price of success in certain areas. I'm just like you. I want shit to be easier. And there's no reason why we can't look for an easier path. But always going for the path of least resistance is going to get you nowhere. There are certain things that are going to show up. You're going to have to go through the pain. If we're talking about your fitness, there's going to be a certain level of pain that you're going to have to go through, and you're going to have to hit that threshold every single day. And in the beginning, it's going to be hard. But if you're not willing to go through it, you're never going to get there. You're going to have to be fucking persistent every single day. Every single day, you're going to have the choices of doing what's easy or doing what's hard. The thing that separates the people who are successful are that they do what's hard. They go to the depths of their soul in the moments it matters most to get and achieve what they really want, while you negotiate. You're going to have to be persistent. You're going to have to be consistent. You're going to have courage. And with courage, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to put yourself out there. You're going to have to be willing to get persecuted. Have your friends and family talk about you behind their back. Wonder what the fuck you're doing, why you're doing it, and waiting for you to fail. You're going to have to take that shit. If you ever want to be a champion, those are just some of the things you're going to have to go through. But the problem that I see is we have a whole bunch of people trying to find the quickest, easiest way to get to the top of the mountain. And that's why we have so many people that are going to never reach the top of the fucking mountain. So my challenge to you is to check yourself. Because I'm going to check myself. In the areas that I'm not living up to what I want to live up to, I'm going to really ask myself if I've been negotiating this price. My client who came to this conclusion somehow is on his way to rapid success. Because the awareness that the excuses were flooding in, that his willingness just wasn't there, that everyday circumstances was coming in and throwing him off of his game, the awareness that that shit is going to stop, and he has been in that negotiation, is the first step to him reaching his ultimate goal. And that's the first step for you to reach your ultimate goal. Champion up.
Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of The Show with John Madsen. The greatest compliment that you could give us is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all of your friends. So please go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating and review, and then share it online with everyone that you know. Make sure to tag John as well. He loves to hear from listeners of the show. The links for all of his socials and iTunes are in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to engage John for anything related to his coaching, consulting, or programs, please visit johnmadsen.com for everything you'd need to know on how to engage with John offline. And lastly, thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration. This is The Show.